Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is Friday, May the 8th, 2015, with another eBay video that I hope you will find entertaining, insightful, and helpful. I'm a little short on time today, so I hope you will excuse the casual Friday look. Today's video is going to be about the following topics, and you may refer to the whiteboard behind me if you wish. Buy duplicate listings. We're going to talk about returns and cancellations, new case structure. We're going to talk about sellers' histories being hidden, more about bullet points. We're going to talk about other things, including some of the comments on last week's video and eBay stores. And we're going to talk about something that's been bothering a lot of you guys, that you're experiencing long periods with no sales on eBay. So let's get right into it. First, we'll do a little rehash on last week's video. I read all of your comments, and there were over 114 of them last week. Very good job, guys. You all deserve an A. A few of the things I did not make clear, which I should have, I edited the video out of the Uline delivery, so it may have appeared that I only got one skid of merchandise when I got 4. Somebody mentioned why they would send a big truck with just one skid on it, and I can understand why he would misunderstand. There was actually 4 skids. But in the interest of time, I had to cut the video down and edit a lot of it out. So I hope that answers that question. Somebody else mentioned pricing on Uline, that they feel it's more. But then they clarified their response by saying they buy envelopes and bubble mailers only. I do buy bubble mailers, but I mainly buy boxes, as you probably saw on that skid. That's basically what I buy. Alright? They offer a good quality box, and I'm not getting paid to upsell Uline. But if somebody else knows another company that is cheaper and offers the next day delivery for free on skids to me, I'd like to know about it. Okay? Now, a lot has happened. This has been an unusually busy eBay news week. There was a webinar on Wednesday. I don't know how many of you guys caught it. It was not the kind of webinar that we're really used to, where you see the people who are talking. It was basically a screenshot webinar, and it really only talked about eBay stores and certain ways to use Markdown Manager and Promotions Manager. Quite frankly, it was not exactly what I was expecting, but I'm still glad I was there to see it anyway. A lot of people, not a lot, but some people have complained about eBay raising the fees for the real small sellers in the media category. It has long been said that eBay is trying to get people to sign up to eBay stores, whether it be a small basic store, a premium store, or the anchor store. On Wednesday's webinar, they took a poll to see what stores everybody had. And here's the results of that poll. By far, the biggest percentage of you guys have the basic store. That was by far the winner. Next in line were people like me who have the premium store. Then a much smaller percentage have the big anchor store, like the big box sellers would have, and an even smaller percentage had no store at all. So to rehash, you had your basic store. These guys are way up here, they're leading the pack. Then the guys like me with the premium, then the anchor, and way down people that don't have a store. Again, that's just the people that attended the webinar. I'm sure there's a hell of a lot of small sellers with no store that didn't attend the webinar and didn't get to vote. But I'm just wondering, I'm assuming a good amount of you people do have an eBay store, though I know that there are some of you that don't, and you're the guys that are experiencing the increase in the fees. That being said, let us now go on to some new information. eBay has come out publicly and said they are going to do away with duplicate listings. And let me tell you something. I'm going to stop right now and I'm going to clap. I am cautiously optimistic. What that means is if eBay does do away with these people that have these duplicate listings, it'll make it better for all of us. I'm all for it. But A, will they implement it? And B, will they implement it correctly? That's yet to be seen. This starts, I believe, next month in June. But right now what I want to do is I'm going to do a cutaway to a screenshot video I made the other day in preparation for today's video. What the screenshot video will deal with are 3 topics that need to be addressed only with screenshots. One is the duplicate listings. I want to show you guys examples of duplicate listings and how they're hurting all of us in search. The second thing I want to show you is how eBay is at times hiding sellers' history, IDs, and feedback. This is something I noticed it on Tuesday, and I talked to a few of you. Some of you contacted me to complain that yours were being hidden too. But it's a back and forth thing. Like one day they're hidden and one day they're not. And the third thing I want to talk about on the screenshot video is bullet points, an update from last week's video. So let me now cut away to the screenshot video, and I'll be back after that. Okay guys, I'd like to show you a few glitches on eBay that I think are worth discussing. This is the first one right here. I started noticing this back on Tuesday, but it's been a hit and miss situation. Take a look here at my user ID, Hubcap Joe's. You'll notice there is no transaction number on the side. I should have a number like 9,560 or something like that, and I should have a star, right? And also it should say 100% feedback. Now I'm sure you all remember those 3 things were next to your name, but yet they're not showing here. And it's not just happening to me. I've had about half a dozen people contact me since Tuesday telling me that they're experiencing the same problem. But the weird thing was earlier today I was telling somebody about it who I was speaking to on the phone, and do you know, when I clicked on my own listings, it came up normally with my feedback number, my 100% feedback, and the star next to my name. Now, what bothers me about the situation right here is this will lump all top-rated sellers in a melting pot with brand new sellers. For instance, what I'm saying, if a person clicks this listing right here and wants to buy it, he's going to just see it's Hubcap Joe's selling it. He has no idea I have over 9,500 feedback. He has no idea that I've been on eBay a long time, and he has no idea I have 100% feedback. And I think it's wrong, dead wrong. I don't know why they're hiding that information. I don't know if it's just a test market or if it's a glitch or what's going on. But in the comments section, I would like you guys to tell me if the same thing is happening to your account, even if it's a hit and miss thing. All right? The second item I'd like to show you, if you decide to run a search on an item, and I talked about this last year and I'm talking about it again only because the subject of duplicate listings is coming up. If you click on a search like I did right here, I typed in the keyword hubcaps, and by default eBay will show you what they call its best match. Now my question to you guys is, how does eBay decide that all this China garbage is the best match? Tell me that. Furthermore, if you look at the title, although the pictures are different, I want everyone to stop now and look at the titles. Like for instance this one, 4-piece set 14-inch hubcap silver skin rim cover for steel wheel covers caps. Now look at this one, 4-piece of 15-inch silver hubcaps full lug skin rim cover for OEM steel wheel cap. This is keyword spamming, and it's being done by the same person. And you can see eBay is even upselling him by saying he's experienced over 500,000 transactions combined on eBay.
this is one of those big box sellers that we've talked about in the past. Definitely keyword spamming. And, you know, what really upsets me is he's selling this China garbage. Absolutely not one of these items is a genuine article. Not one. And you can clearly see it's the same person doing it. All right? So I am very curious to see if when eBay institutes its new rules against duplicate listings, if they're going to allow this kind of thing to continue. I've been talking with some people, and people that matter, and they tell me that it's not going to continue, that when somebody does this, all their items are going to be hidden in search. But we'll talk about that a little bit more in the video as we go along. I want to show you one last thing. All right, remember last week we were talking about bullet points, and I showed you how to enter the HTML code in. One thing I neglected to do, and luckily my friend David reminded me, was you can also do it through eBay without going to the HTML tab. You'll notice I'm in the standard tab right now. All you have to do is click right here for bullets. You click that. See how a bullet point already came up? And in this case I would write like 1992 Buick. And let's say I wanted to add another car. It automatically, just hit enter, it automatically will put the bullet point in for you. Get it? At least eBay made it really easy for us. But all right, that's all for the screenshots I want to talk about right now. Let me get back to the regular video and let's keep the discussion going. Hope this part helped you.
Okay guys, I felt that was the best way to present that material to you to make it more understandable. The duplicate listings I showed you examples how one seller is keyword spamming. Alright, he's keyword spamming and he's just proliferating eBay with that China garbage. I can't stand that. I swear I can't. It's hurting all sellers. It's killing the small sellers, and it's killing regular sellers like myself who sell factory equipment parts. I'd like to know, in your opinion, guys. Now, hey. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. You're allowed to say whatever you want. Just don't curse me out or anything. All right? But is there anyone that does not think that was keyword spamming and does not think that guy is violating eBay policies as stated? I'd like to know. Question number 2. With regard to hiding our eBay IDs, how many of you guys have noticed sometime during this week your eBay history, feedback, etc. was hidden at any time? And is it being hidden now? Mine's been back and forth, on, off, on, off. I think it might be a test, I'm not sure. Again, several of you guys are experiencing the same thing. I'd really hate to see eBay adopt that policy because I've worked hard. Guys, I now have, at this moment, Friday, I have 9,596 feedback, okay? 100% positive feedback. I'm a top-rated seller. I'm going to tell you something. When I hit 10,000 feedback, which will be pretty soon, I am going to sing and dance right here on the Crazy New York Driver Show, and I'm putting it out there on video right now. When I hit 10,000 feedback the following Friday, whenever that is, I will do a short singing and dancing number for you. It ain't gonna be pretty, but it's gonna be my way of celebrating 10,000 feedbacks on eBay. I've been wanting to tell you guys that for a long time, but now we're getting close so I can actually do it. And lastly on the screenshot video was the bullet points. I had neglected to mention that, and I should have. Luckily my friend David reminded me, so I did that. And that takes care of that. I want to now talk about new case structure. When a person opens a case against you. Here's what happened to me the other day. I get a letter from eBay in my messages saying that a buyer was opening a case against me for not as described. Now, I have not had a not as described case as long as I can remember. Okay? Well over a year, maybe longer. So I went into the case, I checked it, and the buyer actually screwed up. Surprise, he does not want to return the items, but he did check off not as described. What happened is he bought a set of hubs from me that were in beat up condition, and so stated. When he got them, he looked at them, and he was happy with 3 of them, but he felt that the 4th one had more damage than the other 3, and I don't dispute that it did. So he wrote to me and he said, listen, I got the hubs, I'm happy with 3, but I'm not happy with the 4th. I'd like to know if you'll give me a partial refund for the 4th one. I want to keep them, I don't want to send them back. And he was asking 25% off the price. So, to make the buyer happy, I decided to give him the 25% off. But when I went to the case, in the old days, it was different. It's totally changed, unless this is another experimental thing. eBay now gives you the option to give the guy a partial refund. I had several choices. Choice number 1 was give the buyer a full refund, and I have to pay return shipping. That's definitely out. Choice number 2, give the buyer a partial refund. And it says you have 1 chance to give the buyer a partial refund that he will accept. If he does not like it, the case will be escalated to eBay. 1 chance and 1 chance with the pros, basically, is what they're saying. The third choice is to keep communicating with the buyer. So since the buyer asked me for 25% off, I decided to honor his request and give him the 25% off. So that was the option that I checked. He, of course, has to approve it. And eBay said to me he has 1 month to approve it. So if I don't hear from him in June, the case automatically gets closed. However, if the buyer does approve it and is happy with the 25%, that counts as a defect, according to eBay policy. So I talked to a friend of mine who's connected, and I showed him the situation, and he said he does not feel, in his honest opinion, that that should count as a defect. So we'll see what happens about that. I'll keep you advised probably on next week's video if I hear any more about that. But have any of you guys experienced what I call the new case structure, where eBay actually offers or gives you a chance to offer a percent back to your buyer and says you have 1 chance and 1 chance only to make good? I had never seen that before. I should have taken a screenshot of that, but I didn't think that it would be necessary. But if it ever happens again, I will do that. Now, next thing. Several people have written in to me that they've experienced long periods with no sales on eBay this week. I have experienced that myself from time to time. There's an old tip I've heard. I've heard it on the Facebook groups, and I've heard it on eBay radio just the other day. They say if you experience a period with no sales, you should list some fresh items. Not relist anything, no, no, no. List some fresh meat, get it out there, and that will help you in search. Even if you are making sales and you're doing well, you should list as often as possible, even 1 or 2 items a day, just to keep you out there in search. Personally, I think there is some credence to that. As I've told you many times, I rarely go a day without sales. Somebody wrote in last night and told me they went 3 days this week without a sale. I went about 36 hours at the beginning of this week without a sale, which for me is like, it's unheard of. So I listed a bunch of things, not a bunch, maybe 5 or 6, and that same day sales started coming back in. So I can't prove that this is a fact, but I strongly suggest if you're experiencing slow sales or no sales, list 5 or so fresh items today, and hopefully by tonight your iPhone will be ka-chinging again. This week, I had 2 returns and no cancellations. The one return, well, I'm counting it as a return, is the partial refund case I spoke to you about earlier in the video. The second item was a person who just cannot read. He's not capable of reading. He purchased an item, didn't know what he was getting, and wants a refund. And okay, it happens. It's part of doing business. Those things happen. Now, guys, I'd like to turn the floor over to you. I'd like you guys to comment on all the aspects we covered today, or those that really significantly impact you. I'm especially interested in the cutaway screenshot video I did where I showed you eBay is hiding, in some cases and at some times, our ID history. I think that hurts all sellers, especially even big box sellers are going to be hurt by that. Top rated sellers are going to really take it hard, like myself. I tell you right now, I think that hurts all top rated sellers. I want people to see my feedback and my history. I am at 100% feedback. I'm a top rated seller. I have 9,596 transactions and I'm freaking damn proud of it. And I think everybody should be able to see that. Do you guys agree or disagree, and why? Comments below on that. Also, if you have any comments about the cases I spoke to you about, comments on that, or any other eBay store questions. One last thing before I let you go, ID verification. I am a big fan of ID verification. I don't want to see any scamming whatsoever, whether it be eBay, PayPal, or wherever. Every single PayPal or eBay account should be ID verified. They should know your address, your name, and your full name. How many of you guys have had an item sell recently of yours, and when you get the confirmation from eBay and PayPal, it does not have the guy's entire name? Do you know I got another one this week with the name John? Who in their right mind could have a... I don't know, I just don't get it. How can that even pass muster when you open an account to have just your first name on the account? Yet, it's PayPal verified and eBay verified. To me, this is just my opinion, that seems fishy. What do you guys think? Don't all of you guys agree in strict ID verification for eBay and PayPal and basically anything? It's only good sense, guys. That being said, the floor is now yours. I'm Crazy New York Driver, and you're not. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any requests for topics to be covered in next week's video, tell me them, type them below, or you can PM me if you wish. I'll be more than happy to answer all of them. Thanks for being the best audience on YouTube. You guys rock. See you guys.